Hi. I haven't done a video in a while, and I know I promised a few, so I'm going to try and touch on it right now because a few things have come up in the past few days that I thought I need to post. Well, some of you may know that I am a part of a group called Spies. We've had some technical difficulties and some difficulties with health issues in order to get out and get you guys some videos, but we are on that. Now, with regard to my narcissist and parenting videos, same issues, technical. I've also been going through school. I will be attending school starting again in January for paralegal. So, yeah, I'm still progressing. I'm not out of the count yet. But I want to touch on this video. I've been in a lot of the support groups and in gathering from different people, both in a personal nature and with regard to my own relationships and with regard to what others are going through. Narcissistic personality disorder is not the same as narcissism. Now, narcissistic personality disorder, we will discuss a little bit later, but narcissism is when somebody has to always be primping and in front of a mirror and selfies constantly, things like that. That is very different than narcissistic personality disorder. They are just very into beauty, very into themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean that they're abusive. Narcissistic personality disorder is something vastly different. It is a diagnosable condition. It can be treated. Now, this is the problem, is that people who are diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder do not see that they are doing anything wrong. Everything has meaning to them. It's clear to them what they're doing, what they're trying to achieve. So, in essence, you're really not going to get somebody who is willing to change because they don't feel they're wrong. If you are the person who is unhappy in a relationship, okay, sorry, my dog is big and scrunchy, and there's Martin. And yeah, neither of them know their size. Anyhow, if you have to wonder what the hell is going on in your relationship with somebody, if someone adopts your stories as their own, say, I went through abuse of my own with my mother. Now, it's hard because on the outside, we didn't look like there was anything wrong because you keep that stuff behind closed doors. And I learned how to do that even in my love relationships, to the point where I became so damaged that I have come to the point where I need to find out who I was, if I could live with myself. And when I was arguing with myself, it wasn't a good time. But as I learned who I was, what my expectations were, I learned how to set my boundaries. And I learned to put those boundaries up with other people. Now, I have run into narcissists, and I have stuck to my boundaries. As much as I may have loved these people or liked these people, I realized it was time to get rid of them. It was not good for me in my life. And unfortunately, that is where a lot of us are at. People who are the victims of these narcissists a lot of times start to second guess themselves. They're not happy. They may run to a therapist. They may be put on medication. They may find that there is issues with them, and there are. I suffer complex PTSD. I also suffer clinical depression. And when I realized that I was always being put down subtly. You know, something disguised as a compliment, but then also makes you sit there and go, wait a minute, I can take that another way. That's passive aggressive. And passive aggressive doesn't work in relationships. It just doesn't. If you have to chronically be put on the defensive, or if you have to chronically make yourself feel better by hurting someone else, you both need help. One of you is a victim, one of you is an abuser. In relationships, you don't always have to be together 100% of the time. You don't have to have 100% of the likes. You don't have to always know where that other person is. If you don't have trust, if you don't have stability, then reevaluate that relationship and get out of it. If you have to complain about the person you're with 24/7 and nothing they do is ever right, why are you in the relationship? Now, this is a question for both narcissists and the victims of narcissism. Get out of the relationship. Get yourself some help. And if you receive the diagnosis of narcissistic personality disorder, do the work. Stick with your therapist. Do the work. Get a good psychiatrist. No, there's probably no medication for it, but do the work, because you don't care about anybody else's needs but your own. And that's not good. That's not going to get you a lasting, loving relationship, and you're going to lose a lot of good people from your life, because everybody's starting to learn about narcissistic personality disorder now because of videos like mine. Can't swing a dead cat on YouTube without hitting one. So look it up, become informed. Teach your children before they go out there and start dating relationships. I was also abused in a relationship. I just didn't realize how abusive it really was. And I continued it for most of my life. Please get help.